Elden Ring weapons explained in 10 seconds. Straight swords. The classic hero starter pack. Reliable, clean and balanced, which in Elden Ring means boring until endgame. You'll swear it's underrated, then ditch it the second you find something that bleeds. The Toyota Corolla of weapons. Dependable, forgettable, somehow still around after the apocalypse. Great swords. Big, bold and slow enough to legally count as turn-based combat. Every swing feels like slamming a door on destiny and missing. You'll convince yourself it's timing and precision, when really you're just hoping the boss forgets to move. Strength players call this patience, everyone else calls it lag. Colossal swords. Now we're in anime territory. This thing doesn't cut, it deletes. One hit turns enemies into geological dust, assuming you live long enough to land it. You're less of a fighter and more of a natural disaster in progress. Ideal for those who think subtlety is for wizards and cowards. Katanas. Every player's I'm the protagonist now phase. You rolled decks, picked rivers of blood, and never looked back. Bleed builds on everything, including your relationships. It's fast, flashy, and somehow always cooler than whatever your friends are using. You're not role-playing, you're auditioning for a Netflix anime. Daggers. For assassins, speedrunners, and people with trust issues. You'll land 400 hits and deal the damage of one sword swing, but at least you look stylish doing it. Perfect for backstabs, terrible for dignity. You're basically trying to paper-cut God to death. Curved swords. Fast, fancy, and designed for those who think dodging is defense. You don't block, you just spin until everything dies or you do. Feels like dancing, if dancing involved severe blood loss. Dex mains call this art, everyone else calls it cope. Twin blades. The fidget spinners of death. Spin to win gameplay for players who thought Darth Maul was the real Jedi hero. You'll look incredible for 10 seconds, then die instantly because you forgot stamina exists. A weapon for people who confuse style with survivability. Spears. The social distancing champion. You poke enemies from what feels like another time zone. It's elegant, safe, and deeply cowardly. Perfect for people who want to roleplay as a mosquito, annoying, evasive, and eventually squashed by something with a sword. Halberds. Half spear, half axe, fully confusing. Sometimes you chunk bosses like a pro, other times you just air swipe like you're conducting a bad orchestra. If you like versatility and disappointment, this is your weapon. It's like the Swiss Army knife of getting staggered. Axes. For players who think strategy means hit harder. Every swing is a declaration of war on gravity, logic, and your own health bar. Big damage, big commitment, no brain cells left behind. You don't play with axes, you scream with them. Great axes. Imagine a regular axe but angrier and slightly illegal. Swings so wide that they have their own postal code. When you hit, everything explodes. When you miss, you have to watch your life choices play in slow motion. Ideal for people who measure fun in shockwaves. Hammers. Subtle as a meteor strike. Turns everything you touch into a crater. No fancy combos, no flair, just pure geological violence. If you're using a hammer, you're not fighting the boss, you're remodeling the arena. Flails. The ultimate betrayal weapon. You think it's cool, then you hit the wall, the floor, or your own hopes. Still, it's stylish chaos, and every successful hit feels like divine luck. Perfect for players who want to suffer with rhythm. Whips. For the fashionable freaks of the lands between. No blocking, no poise, just pure range and bad decisions. You're either here for the challenge or something deeply personal that we won't unpack. Whatever the reason, you terrify everyone. Fists and claws. Because who needs weapons when you are the weapon? You punch dragons, claw knights, and die immediately after. You're playing Dark Souls on hard mode for the aesthetic. Every death is an affirmation of your gym membership. Colossal weapons. If your weapon requires a building permit, this is it. You don't swing, you announce your presence with seismic activity. Miss once and you're dead. Hit once and they're dead. It's not a fight, it's tectonic plate warfare. Bows. Ranged combat for people who don't like fun. You'll spend 5 minutes lining up a headshot that does less damage than one fireball. The ultimate patience test, or punishment for players who thought they could play Elden Ring like Skyrim. Crossbows. Like bows but somehow worse. You don't aim, you accept disappointment. Great for cosplay, terrible for gameplay. The fast food of ranged weapons, convenient, unsatisfying, and instantly regrettable. Ballista. Congratulations, you're now a medieval artillery unit. You'll one-shot enemies if they stand perfectly still for 12 business days while you reload. Every shot feels amazing, and every reload feels like filing taxes. Staves. The nerd's weapon of mass destruction. You summon comets, lasers, and emotional damage. You'll annihilate everything, unless someone sneezes on you first. Intelligence builds are basically high damage, low calcium. Sacred Seals. Weapons for people who think faith should come with lightning bolts. You'll smite demons, heal yourself, and occasionally explode. Perfect for players who say, I love God, but I also love violence. Torches. It's fire but worse. You pick this up thinking it's utility. Now it's your main weapon and your cry for help. Congratulations, caveman. You've invented disappointment. Scythes. For edgy agricultural mages. Looks good, feels tragic. You swing like the embodiment of death, then do damage like a butter knife. Great for farming crops and your own patience. Thrusting swords. Pokey, precise, and passive-aggressive. You win fights not through power, but through annoyance. You're not dueling, you're filing formal complaints with sharp objects. Heavy thrusting swords. The grown-up version of poke harder. You stab dragons like you're late for a meeting. It's elegant brutality, less fencing, more impaling. Perfect for when you want to bully bosses from mid-range. Every weapon in Elden Ring fits one of the 5 archetypes. Swings too slow but hits like divine punishment. Swings too fast but feels like you're tickling a god. Bleeds everything including your sanity. Requires 60 strength or a small miracle. Or exists solely because From Software hates you. The lands between isn't about balance. It's about style, pain, and realizing your favorite weapon got nerfed 3 patches ago.